welcome. For those of you who are watching, welcome to The Pipeline, a podcast dedicated to real estate professionals who wanted to grow their business, learn more about the market, technology, the right technology, the right strategies to grow their business, and where we love to highlight our partners and professionals that are hands-on, creating their business and dominating the market. And it pleases me today to talk to one of my friends and partners, Jose Osorio, leader and creator of the Osorio Suarez Team in Miami. And Jose, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Carlos. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be able to speak with you today.
I'm looking forward to have a deep conversation and for those who are watching to learn more about you, because I think your story, your background, and your future is very exciting.
Thank you.
So I would love for you to introduce yourself, tell our viewers, who you are, what you do, and what brought you into real estate.
Yeah, of course. So I'll introduce a little bit more about myself, but thank you again for the introduction. I know it's I think real estate, it's a matter of timing, the cycles, and I think that's what I love about it the most. It's just so many things that you can learn. But again, my name is Jose Osorio. I'm the leader of the Osorio Suarez group here in South Florida. And really what we focus on, a lot of relocations, people coming in internationally, a lot of people coming in from New York, from Chicago, from San Francisco. And what I love the most about real estate is just the versatility of it. We're working with different people that are coming from different backgrounds with different needs, and that's where we really focus on, and kind of giving them that concierge service with everything that they need. Like we spoke about before, if their kid needs a college to go to, or their daughter needs the ballet school to go to, or the car rental service, apart from actually buying or renting a home, that's where we really focus on, and that's where we want to make the differentiation factor versus many other people that are in the business. But business has been going great. I'm super happy to be working with you guys, and really all started a couple years ago. I first started being a marketing consultant for other real estate brokers. I helped them out with everything on LinkedIn, Facebook ads, Instagram as well, did their content, planned everything, and that was at a time where I was in school. I went to FIU and I graduated here some time ago. And I was just finding ways to make extra money. And when I first started going into the business, I just saw it as a way to, extend my network, connect with realtors, refer some people. And at the beginning, I didn't thought much of it. But when I started doing their campaigns and I started seeing the potential that Miami has, the development, the transformation it had, I realized, I was like, hey, this is a country I've been, for 16 years since I originally moved from Colombia. And I've watched it grow in front of my eyes. Why don't I get myself into it? So that was about a year and a half ago. I was still finishing school. I also had an internship, and I worked for a company called UKG, where I specialize in HR and technology, selling software. And I was super one-dimensional. Like I told you before, I would just call. I wouldn't do much of the work that I'm doing now, and kind of took the leap of faith. I got my license in August of last year, and really my world completely changed. And I think it's the best decision that I've done, not only to get my license, start working, going all in, being full-time in real estate, but working with such a great team like yours that, number one, gets you so much exposure, gets you awareness, gets you in front of a lot of eyes, but it helps you build a brand. And I think attention is the number one asset in any business out here in the US and any other parts of the world. Gary Vee always talked about that. That's one of my idols, really. When you have attention, when you have eyeballs on you, more people are going to trust you. It's easier to have these conversations. And when I get a client calling me for, a $5,000, $6, rental in Brickell for their two buddies working in e-commerce, I tell them, hey, listen, we've spoken. You saw my posts, you've seen the videos, you've seen the building reviews, you've seen the website. What are you looking for? Let's get it together. And it's such an easy sell. If I didn't have all these metrics, if I didn't have all this content together, it's harder. But I think that's why we're working with you guys, and it's made our life easier.
We'll dive in deeper into all the different parts that we have assembled together for the Osorio Suarez team. And I think that for those who are thinking about joining real estate, right? People that are considering maybe changing careers or not, not looking at real estate as a possible viable option to, change their lives and create a business. I don't think everybody knows, the details on how, you know, how much time can you free up, or how much financial freedom can provide to a young agent like yourself,
Yeah.
or to a large team. Um, let's talk a little bit about how real estate, is assembled in a sense, because once you can represent the buyer, you can represent the seller. There's a standard commissions between 2 to 3% on the
Hmm.
resale market. The standard commissions on the rentals,
Correct.
but you also have the possibility to get higher commissions when you sell pre-construction and new development properties, that I think people don't, yet know, unless you've been in the market, how
Hmm.
that can, turn your job into a business, right? So can we dive in and deeper into that? Because I think it will be valuable to hear from you. You've been, building your business in real estate for the past year. So how
Hmm.
have you considered those into your business?
Yeah, of course. I think real estate super versatile. Like I mentioned before, there's many avenues and there's many ways to be successful. Not only on the new development side, on the resale side. Some people like selling condos. Some people like rentals. Some people just like single family. Right? Everyone's super different. But then there's a buying side. There's a selling side. You can even represent both sides. But I think Miami is in a great position because as of probably a couple of weeks ago, that last time I checked, there's more than 135 new developments in all of South Florida, stretching from West Palm Beach down into the coast of Coconut Grove. And all of the projects are different. Some of them are residential, some of them are for short-term rentals. So there's many different aspects and there's many different products for many different people. I mean, most of them start in the 400,000 range, but then you have the Mandarin Oriental where the studios, the one bedrooms, the starting prices are $4 or $5 million, and then you have the Surfside new developments that are coming up. Then you have in West Palm Beach that Steve Ross is doing an amazing job in, and those are in the $10-15 million range. So there's many different products for different people, and I think not only for realtors and then for the buyers or on our side, there's just so many different options to pick from that sometimes it becomes a problem because there's so many great things to choose from. But Miami, we're in the right place. We're in the hottest market in all of the country, despite of some of the economic struggles we've seen in the country this past year and a half or so. But new development is definitely the wave to go. It's where I want to continue focusing on, and where not only can you make the most money on, but it's the most impact because you get a brand new product in a great field of Miami.
That's amazing. Now that we're talking about Miami and you just highlight this, I think the landscape, at least stateside, have switched in the past
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5 years. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen, with everything going on in New York, a lot of migration from
Yes.
upper, east states. We see, with all of the changes in Los Angeles and California, a lot of people coming into Miami. And for us that live here, I love Miami. I know
Mm-hmm.
that there's huge potential for growth, but we enjoy different lifestyles, top of the line restaurants, and different type of lifestyles when it comes to real estate. How do you see the potential for growth in Miami? Where do you see the biggest opportunities for buyers that are moving in? And in your personal experience, can you share with them where are you seeing most of that relocation from?
Yeah, it depends. It really is because, like I mentioned before, since there's many different types of inventory and products for many different type of people, it really depends on what fits your lifestyle. I think when I'm having the initial conversations with our buyers, it's mostly asking them, "Hey, what is your lifestyle like? Do you see yourself in front of the beach? Do you like a city view? Do you have kids? Do you need them close to the top rated schools? Are they going to college now?" Or you just by yourself with your husband, talk to me a little bit more about that. That's the conversations that we have with our clients because in the beginning it's understanding what's going to better fit them because you can live in West Palm Beach where it's a super walkable area. You got Mar-a-Lago, for example, or you like Brickell that's on that younger side. You have the nicest restaurants, you got Moxie's, you got Casa Tua, you got the Cipriani. So it's really about the customer. But it's all about them. That's usually how I take it, and based on those answers that I get, I kind of connect them to the new projects, or if they're looking for a resale, something that's ready in the next month or so, that's where we go about it.
That's amazing. That's amazing
Hmm.
content. Now let's talk about how do you set up your team and your business once you decided to go into real estate, right? How hard was it to, create an online presence? How hard was it to build the right tools? What were the things that were available to you and that you focus on in order to make these, work for you and for your
Hmm.
team?
Yeah, it's a good question, especially for agents that are starting brand new from scratch like I did. I probably didn't touch a sale or rental in the first couple months because I had no clue what I was doing. First step is picking the right brokerage, finding out who are you going to work under, maybe picking a team. Who are those top sellers? Who are the top listing people in your area? I think that's the most important part. But second is understanding that real estate's a game of two things: lead generation and marketing. Then how you convert those leads. So then when this was September of last year, I had a lot of passion for real estate. I wanted to meet the people. I wanted to go to the showing rooms. But then how would people trust me? How would I get a hold of these people and how would I convert them? So that's when, I started researching my options and understanding how are the most successful teams, which is the goal that we have. What programs are they using? How are they going about the business? And what is their resources or their approach? Because some people do a lot of networking, some people do a lot of mailers, some people do door knocking. But I'm a huge believer, like I mentioned before, that digital marketing and everything that's going on the internet is the wave of the future. Like AI was 2 years ago and the internet was in the 90s. It's the same thing with social media. So, my recommendation is when you're first starting out is finding a good team, finding a good marketing partner like it is with you guys with Trem, but understanding that once you do find those resources, it's up to you to go out there, make the content, make the calls, and execute, because that's what a lot of people lack.
Definitely, when and we have this conversation with director of marketing all the time, and there is a variable that is very important, which
Hmm.
is considering your time and your money and where are you going to allocate them, because there is within the resources that are available in the real estate space. If you have a lot of time and you want to do yourself, you want to grow your business yourself, you might find yourself trying to build all of it at your own pace, and it may drain a lot of your time if you don't find the right tools or the right team or the right brokerage
Correct.
to help you succeed, right? The other resources that we've seen people having at the disposal are larger companies or marketing companies that are not having a tailored approach to their brand, are not customizing based on, again, the partner and the client. Where do you want to be successful? What market do you want to generate? What type of property do you want to represent, either on the buyer or the selling side? Which platforms might be better for you, right, to either generate leads or generate trust, which is, again, important when you're talking about these things.
Hmm.
And at Trem Group we have a formula which you've been through, so you know on how we conduct a research on where do you want to be, and what's the right traffic that we want to attract for your business, how we're going to build that infrastructure for your business so it resonates not just with you but with the end consumer and the client that is actually searching in those markets and these platforms. And how do we interconnect that with your CRM, your the proper IDX on your website, and the right tools so we can free up most of your time, and also earn more money and more time in the process. So when you started working, how hard was it for you to go through that research, build that website? How long did it took to be up and running and start attracting new business?
With Trem working.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember we had a trip planned for before the graduation that I had. We went to Colombia, and as soon as we hit January 15th or 20th of this year, we had leads up and coming. I was telling my mom we're in the middle of Cartagena, and I was like, hey, we're already starting to get leads. Like, we got to get back to the U.S. to start working, because we started working with you guys back in December of last year, of 2024. So I would say it took us about a month and a half to get up and running, to understanding the keywords, the research as well, designing our website with the templates that were provided, kind of figure out the marketing budget that we had. So about a month and a half, but then as soon as those leads started to come in, we had business and we had a lot of work because especially when you're starting and you're kind of getting used to this new model, you have to kind of structure your day in a way where, one, you start prospecting, but then you have to follow up, but then you have to do your appointments in the afternoon and execute on your buyers or listing presentations. So I think it teaches you, especially with the Trent model, a lot of discipline and just focusing on executing the tasks day to day, because not only do you have the CRM attached to it, you have the website, you have the marketing material, but you put that all together and you have a system that's going to generate business. And it's just a matter of getting that return on investment and making the right move, because I mean, there's a lot of ways we're getting hit every single day with advertising from different agents, especially in the traditional routes like mailers and postcards, etc. But if you look at it, we're 4 or 5 hours on our phones every day. And I think that's where people are going to be more successful in. And the more you post, the more content you do, the more marketing, the more awareness you build, eventually, like Brian Sertan, like Frederick Uckland and Steve Gold, like these people that were $1 million listing in New York that were like kind of the most famous realtors, it's going to be the same concept, but with trend marketing. That's the way we see it, and that's how we believe we're going to be successful.
I mean, we've seen through the latest numbers that over 96% of real estate transactions start by browsing on a mobile or desktop device. We know that
Yes.
adapting to digital is no longer the past, it's the present and the future. So if you're definitely not having the right strategy, to build your business and to attract the right client on the platforms that they're searching on, you're leaving a lot of opportunity in the table, right? Not taking advantage of what you should at the moment. But that's a very interesting topic. And you were mentioning earlier how easy it is for you that you've compared different CRMs and you compare different tools. How easy it is for you to manage your business now with the right tools in place?
I mean, I wake up every single day. I already have my task on Followup Boss, which is the CRM that we use. I have my emails for the day. I kind of have my calendars. I mean, everything's synced, and I'm super organized, and I like everything written and structured and kind of visually. And I think with Followup Boss, because it's tied against to IDX Boost and then our website as well, it's just super easy to understand. I mean, I wake up typically in a day, I prospect for a couple hours, and then based on everything that I did in the morning, it already shows up because everything's tied in together. So I think that's super useful. And then I have a corporate background. I did software sales. I use more complicated CRMs like Salesforce and HubSpot that are super huge in corporate. I think the one that you guys use with Followup Boss is perfect because visually it's super, super easy. And I would tell you a baby and someone on the older end can use it. That's how I think it's simple. So
I appreciate that. Now, we were also talking about how easy it is for you to communicate with your clients using your website, right? Now you don't rely just on the MLS or different tools to communicate with them. Can you elaborate a little bit more on how the proper website tool, the proper platform like idxboost.com has helped or helps your business day to day on nurturing your clients?
Yeah, 100%. I think for all real estate agents, we face a struggle that a client sends you an apartment.com listing or a Zillow listing, and then you go and check on the website because it looks fine on paper, and then it's pending from 3 weeks ago, and you're like, this is completely wrong. Or it's a sale by owner, or just the listing doesn't exist in general. I've seen it. They're fake, or they're from rental communities. They're nowhere near Brickell, but they're in the middle of Hialeah, for example. So there's a lot of faults in it. Of course, I think Zillow and apartments.com do a great job in themselves to give everyone access to everything. But I think that with what we're doing here with IDX and implementing kind of the holistic aspect of it, it's super easy because with a touch of a button with a link, I can share everything from my website, from what they've seen and liked and favorite already, directly to their phone, to their laptop, to their WhatsApp. So I can even go on my phone, search a couple properties for my clients, and in a span of 5 to 10 minutes, they have 3 great listings that they just spoke to me about. And then I have access to everything that they're seeing. So another thing I do every single morning is that I wake up, I have my task lists, but I also see what they're clicking on, or if a price was reduced. So I can kind of switch everything back and forth. So, I mean, it's a little bit of stalking, I would say, of the client, because once you're registered, that's it. I can see everything, but I think it's super useful for our end in terms of data and tracking to kind of get a hold of them and kind of put the deal through.
I think it's also useful for them because it gives them a more personalized experience on the site. It allows you, it gives you the ability to make it more unique experience for them. And it's very simple with a couple clicks that you can select favorites for them. They can log into the website, review them there, and they don't have to leave your website to look at real estate in your market and what they're interested in the first place. So I think it does help both. Now, Jose, a lot of real estate agents that watch this episode, they might be looking from different markets. They might be looking from different areas. What are the markets that you focus on right now? And if they were to maybe send a referral, or connect with you or work with you, what are you focusing on today, right? What markets are you working on, and where do you see the value on the Miami real estate market?
Yeah, I mean, number one is Brickell. I'm a huge believer in the market. I think it's the second financial center after Wall Street in the U.S. I think everyone that's moving from the Northeast, from any major city, it's the place to go because you get Miami Beach 10 minutes away, you got the airport 10 minutes away, you got Edgewater 5 to 10 minutes away, you have the heat playing 10 minutes away, it's super central. And it's walkable, so you're used to that aspect in your different city. You have great jobs, great companies moving to Brickell, like Citadel, the Santander Tower is getting built, and then tons of new developments like the Cipriani, 1428, the Mandarin, etc. Right, but that's the market I like to focus on, that I brand myself with, and I believe the most because it's already built, valuations there, so you can buy and you're gonna have a solid product. But then there's also markets like the Miami single family market that I strongly believe in, because not everyone wants to live in a condo, not everyone wants to have a view. Maybe they want something that's better for their family, for their kids. They want a backyard. I think that market's great because it's the most traditional market here in South Florida. Everyone knows Miami Beach. Everyone knows that it's the epicenter of what started in the 40s and the 50s, and you have waterfront living. You can put your boat out there, and that's what a lot of successful agents focus on. And I mean, it's my dream to sell a $20-30 million waterfront home, and we're gonna make it happen with you guys. I've also done a lot of Sunny Isles Beach or keywords there as well. It's a great Airbnb short-term rental market. There's many people from different countries, because I lived in Sunny Isles, from Argentina, from Brazil, from Russia, concentrated in that little strip. Super family-oriented. The school is amazing as well. And then in Sunny Isles, you have the beach. It's super located next to Aventura as well, Bell Harbor Shop, so it's in a very luxurious area. And then the other one that I would like to expand in the future is for Lauderdale. At the end of the day, I mean, just in Flagler Village, there's more than 20 projects coming up, from short-term rental to residential projects, and I think that market is super underrated, and it's not saturated yet. So the value that you're gonna get there compared to many different sections of the city is gonna be very, very different. It's gonna be very better for the investor, but I see a lot of potential in that area. I see Las Olas growing a lot, getting more luxurious restaurants, and then the buildings are gonna be great. Some of my favorite include Viceroy, Nativo, it's short-term rental. They got guaranteed leaseback programs, and great. I can talk on and on about it, but those are the markets that I believe in the most.
Amazing. Let me ask you this: what has been the most valuable piece of advice that you've received since you joined the industry that you've stick to?
Man, that's a good question. Have to give it a second. I think the number one thing is that it's lead generation. I would say, even though it sounds kind of basic, but it's gonna come down to how many people are you speaking to a day, how many people are you calling every day, and that little number is gonna give you a conversion rate, and that's gonna be the number of homes that you sold. If you're not doing that on a daily basis, then in a couple months you're gonna look at your bank account and you're gonna be like, why didn't I sell or rent anything? But lead generation, prospecting, being on the phone with the client is the number one thing, because one, you can hear their feedback. What are they looking for? You start kind of learning about the different aspects of other markets in the country, why they're moving here to South Florida, but you start building that relationship with them, because there's one thing daily leads coming into the website, but you're not doing anything about them. You're not executing on them. You're not building the trust in the relationship, because once that's set, those are going to become lifetime partners and lifetime, I would say even family members, because they're going to refer you, and then eventually who knows what can happen there. It's building your book of business, and that's what's going to help you be successful in the next 20, 25 years in the business. So lead generation, conversion, getting on the phone, but just being in constant contact with people. If you're not doing that, then this is not for a lot of people.
I like that you said that, because any business needs new business walking through the door, right? Attracting the right business, so they can grow. And I love everything that you said. But we were talking earlier about all the value that you bring to your clients, because like you just mentioned, focusing on your clients, providing value into their unique needs when they're searching is extremely important, because again, like you said, it creates long type relationships, referrals from there on. So I want you to speak a little bit more about all of the capabilities that the Osorio Suarez team has, because I know you work alongside with an amazing team, and you can help them from finding the right place, but advising on the right location. You did counseling and guidance if you need to get into the right schools. So
Correct.
dive a little deeper into everything that you guys do as a team, and share with us a couple of those experiences.
Yeah, and I think our basis and the value that we really bring at the Osorio Suarez team is that we went through the exact same process a lot of people are just going through. We went through a lot of the same struggles, a lot of the same problems, and since we've been there, done that, I mean, my family and I, we moved here from Colombia when I was 5 years old in 2009, in the middle of the financial crisis, to kind of figure out things. My dad, he worked, very, very bottom level jobs. He, sold pizzas. He did everything, delivery. And my mom, worked as a janitor as well. She washed, floors and everything. So it's just, they understand the tough situations people are in, even in very luxurious places as well, with very different needs. And that the system here in the United States is super different than from many other countries like Colombia, Argentina, and Mexico. So that's the number one thing, that a lot of the issues that they're facing, maybe it's putting their taxes here, maybe it's transferring their funds from Colombia, because my father's a CPA, he's an accountant, or kind of helping your trust being built here, having your kid put in a good college with a solid scholarship. We went through all that. I went through school here as well. I went to FIU. I went on a full ride scholarship. So I have a background in helping the student, the educational part. Same thing with the sports background. I played baseball. I was going to play in New York baseball. So it's just, you kind of put together, and the goal with the Osorio Suarez team and the group is to kind of give any person that's relocating to South Florida the service that they need, that they can count on us for anything from getting a car, from getting your kid to go to school, from getting the home of your dreams, from finding a job, because I did the resume building, I have the connection in the corporate world. So I think it just comes with time, it comes with the effort and with the experience that we're putting, but we just want to make the relocation process as simple as possible and make it something that they can refer other people to us, and something that can feel good and family friendly, because that's how we operate, and that's how we're going to continue doing it.
Well, this is the first one of many, because we know we're gonna continue to work together. We're gonna have amazing, case studies to share. Is there any story that you want to share with one of your transactions that left a mark that you wanna maybe share with everybody viewing?
Yeah, of course. I'll share one that closed a couple weeks ago. That was probably the most stressful one, and one that's educational. So if you're planning to move to Brickell, just understand that you need to move with enough time. You need to move with enough security deposits as well. In Brickell, they require 4 security deposits for a lot of the buildings. Maybe the association takes 2 to 3 weeks to accept you. They're more stricter on your credit. They're requiring more bank statements. They're requiring more background checks. So it's just, when you're going to come in to live in an environment that's becoming more luxurious every single day, you have to have that expectation that you have to prepare months prior. So I had a transaction that closed like the first couple weeks of June, where we started the process 2 weeks prior. And I told them, I was like, hey, listen, we are very close and tight on the deadline. Just know you now might be able to get accepted on time, and you might have to stay in a hotel if your lease is up where they were, right? So I told them about it. They said, hey, it's fine, we'll find something out and everything. It was a high rental. So when the day comes of the closing, they're not accepted yet. And I was freaking out because they had all their stuff coming in, suitcases, all their clothes, all their belongings. Their movers were on the way as well. They weren't accepted yet. And at the end of the day, we did everything as fast as we could. But then there's a lot of things in the business that you can't control yourself as an agent. Because there's the associations, there's the owners, there's the paperwork that the other parties have to sign, and that wasn't done yet on their part. So, I mean, we went on and off. I got screamed at a couple of times. We all got mad at each other, but it all resolved. They stayed in a hotel a couple nights. I helped out a little bit on that end because at the end of the day, you want to kind of help your clients out and give them the best experience possible, and you want to continue that relationship. But just for all the renters, for all the buyers coming into Brickell, especially, do things with time, prepare on time, because they're strict. They want good tenants, and I believe that's a great thing because you want solid security in your building. But just don't try to rush the process in 2 to 3 weeks because it's very, very hard. And then us as the realtors, we get blamed. So that's my experience. It happens, but that's the learning experience that comes with being the business.
I mean, it's always nice to hear it, firsthand from somebody that's living it, and the fact that we can provide this value to, anybody that's watching, it just make it even more impactful, right, at the end of the day. So, I mean, for anybody that's watching that might want to get in contact with you, can you share where can they find you? How can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, of course. So my Instagram and all my social handles is Jose Osorio Suarez. And same thing with our websites. It's OsorioSuarezRealEstate.com. I answer always. I'm super fast to reply because that's the number one thing when you're dealing with people and clients. You kind of want that service. So feel free to shoot me a text, send me a DM, call me, because I want to be there for your transaction. I want to grow, and I want to see the city grow. At the end of the day, I want Miami to be positioned as the number one city in America, and I want to be part of it. And just know that you're coming from someone that has been through a lot of experience here in South Florida, not only just already in transactions, but through all the little details from the associations, the schools, the universities, everything that comes in within living in Miami. And I feel like that's the service that we can definitely offer. Not only just being a realtor, but an actual friend that can help you and can guide you through the whole process. And again, I can also give you the list of the top rated restaurants, the museums to go to, the beaches, because Miami is not only just a partying scene. I think it's more of a, I like to use that word, like a holistic health and wellness field. There's so many new things that are coming up. There's paddle, there's pickleball courts, go wrong along the Miami River, the Brickell River, the South Point Park place as well. So it's not just partying. There's many different things that you can do, and that's the Miami that I like to go to and the one that I like to follow.
Well, thank you so much for that. I mean, at the Real Estate Marketing Group, we build with purpose. We have a tailored approach to every single one of our partners because your success is our success. And we've seen so many things of we fail so many times, fail fast forward that we learn from it, and we like to grow and learn from our mistakes. So collaborating with our partners, collaborating with driven individuals like yourself is extremely important to us. Supporting each other on this journey is extremely important. So I want to thank you once more for joining the pipeline today. I really appreciate you for being here today. And again, like I said, I know this is just the first one of many. So thank you so much for everybody watching. Thank you, Jose, for being here today. And I really hope we can repeat this soon enough.
No, my pleasure, Carlos, and thank you so much for having me. And I kind of want to leave the audience with the last note is that if you're considering help for your marketing needs for your website and kind of want to have everything figured out, then this is the best program, the best source. 100% I recommend it, because not only if you look up the top producing teams in Florida, I think half of them are using you guys. So it's working. The best teams are doing it, and why not work with the best? I think that's the idea. If you're going to do something right, do it in the best way possible. Give it your all. But give yourself a chance as a real estate agent, because I think the profession is seemed kind of as a luck career or thing based on economic cycles or on who you know. I think you can make a business out of this. You can create generational wealth on real estate, because what can you do with those commissions? You can go out and buy real estate yourself, become an investor. You can then build buildings, do commercial. That's the way I see it. So I think using Trem is the best way to go. Save up, use the resources, but the return on investment that you see is going to be 100% worth it, and I recommend it. And just go do the research yourself, and the answers will be right there for you.
Thank you, Jose. Thank you for that.
Of course.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.